Hey everybody, welcome to Technically Unraveled. I'm Kristen Fehrenbach, the Senior Director of Microsoft Go-to-Market here at Pax8. Thanks for tuning in again. This is the part where I have to tell you, gotta share, like, subscribe, because we have some awesome content lined up. I don't want you to miss it. Plus, we've got the Academy, we've got the game, we've got a lot of stuff that'll keep you updated on everything. Who knows, there might be a new show in the future. All right, let's move on to some updates as always. I know we talked about it last week. Guys, Beyond is sold out. So I want to make sure that if you're there, please come find me. I know I'll be floating around. For sure, I'll be at the Microsoft booth. Would love to see you in person. So please come say hi. We'll get that selfie. We'll post it to LinkedIn, all that good fun stuff. But maybe you're not able to make it this year. I want to make sure that you know that you can tune in live. It's going to be Monday and Tuesday with myself and David Powell. You might remember him from a previous show. Really excited to do this show with David. We're going to do some quick little sneak peek recaps. It's going to be a ton of fun, super lighthearted. We're going to make sure that we get you at least I don't want you to have too much FOMO. Like a little FOMO is okay, but not too much. So make sure that if you're not going to be able to join us, at least tune in with us for 1 hour. It'll be a great time. All right. SMB network security training. This is directly with Microsoft. So this training is going to be the 14th of June. The link is down below. So please make sure you subscribe to that. This is supposed to be a really, really great training. It's directly from Microsoft, so it's not Pax8 specific, but I want to make sure that you're all aware of it because I know that security is always going to be top of mind right now. Please make sure that you get registered, put that on the calendar. So Pax8 training specifically, got a lot coming up. So make sure you go to our events page because there's the entire list there. But other than that, I want to make sure I call it a few. We've got our Modern Workplace Boot Camp. We've got Azure in September. You can register for all of these today. I do want to also call out that we are going to be restarting our Microsoft monthly webinars. I know we skipped this month. Very sorry, guys. We've got a lot going on this month with Beyond. We'll be back here this next month. So we'll make sure that you get those consistent updates. As always, you have your partner newsletter. I know I told you guys to bookmark that, so I'm hoping you did. I know that Ashley Moretti and team work hard to make sure that that is updated every month with pricing and all of that good stuff. But make sure you go to our events page. Lots of stuff's upcoming all over the world. Now, you might have gotten an email about Deal Acceleration Team. This is a team directly within Microsoft that we are leaning on, and they've got a ton of sellers, 250 plus sellers of all different levels. Now, if there's a little thing here that I want to make sure we're all on the same page, because if you take your leads and you register them directly with this team, they're Azure specialists. They are willing to help you close these deals. First, I want to make sure we're on the same page with they only get paid if you as partners close the deals. If they close it directly, which they don't have a way to, but they wouldn't get credit for it. So I just want to make sure we call that out. Second, you can register your pipeline with them for a credit statement invoice, credit invoice statement. I'm going to get these words right one day, probably not today. But guys, you can get money back on your statement, $250 per lead that is registered with this team, up to $1,000. I want to encourage you to use this team because they're incredible. 2, they're going to help you close some Azure deals. 3, let's knock off some money of that invoice. So I think that'll be a really cool thing. Let us know if you have any questions. The link down below, go ahead and register that. Reach out to your ISCs if you have questions. Reach out to your CAMs, all of that good stuff. Want to make sure that you have all that needed information. Wanted to call out a couple of those points though. But we've had somebody that we've teased a little bit. We might have moved it, but we've invited somebody who's been to Pax8 for a long time. But we have a quick little roll in for a video that we want to show first and foremost.
No way. I'm pretty high. I can get used to being this high. Let's go into the control room and check out 2 of the dudes behind the magic.
Hands
like this?
No, do it like because we're both flying. Like, no woes for me, dude.
No way. Oh yeah.
Hey, look directly into my eyes when you do the solo, please. Oh, okay.
All right, ready? Last one.
I'm trying so hard to keep it together right now. Ryan, thanks for joining us.
That's the first time I've seen the blooper reel, so that was pretty incredible.
I'm glad it was a first for both of us. Excellent. So thanks for joining us. You've been at Pax8 for how long now?
I've been at Pax8 since February of 2017, so a little over 6 years.
Oh my gosh, a veteran. So tell us what you do at Pax8. You've been here for what feels like ever, right? You're one of the originals. Tell us what you do, kind of what you've done at Pax8 even.
Yeah, so I was about the 50th employee when I came in. We had a smaller office just right up the road here, and it's been really cool to be part of it. I've had almost every single job in the sales org, from cold calling through an individual contributor to a manager, director, and now I think I have one of the best jobs in the world. I'm the VP of Sales at Pax8. I cover the U.S. specifically, and I cover the CAM and Account Executive organization here at Pax8, and super fortunate to be part of a group that I've put a lot of effort into, but now I get to work with a lot of people that I've sat next to for a long time, and now I get to interact with them on a day-to-day basis a lot more. So love my job, super fortunate to be here, and yeah, hopefully it's 6.5 more years at Pax8.
I love it. I love it. Well, thanks for taking the time to jump on today. I wanted to really zone in on your sales team because they do so much for partners, but I want to start at square one. Now, we have different kinds of relationships, right? So, Pax8 is an indirect provider, but can you tell me what that means?
Yeah, for sure. So, a direct provider is Microsoft. Microsoft provides licensing directly to our partners, right? Pax8 is an indirect provider where Microsoft provides licensing to Pax8, and then Pax8 will provide licensing to the partners. But it's not just providing licensing. We do the support, we do the billing, we do the enablement, but we are now a step between Microsoft and the partner where we've consolidated all of that enablement between the billing and the support and the providing of a license and provisioning and all of that, and we provide it to the partner. And it's not even just
Nice.
Microsoft. For the record, I know that we're wearing Microsoft shirts today, but we are 85 vendors and growing. So, we are a marketplace for many, many other vendors, not just Microsoft.
100%. And I think that's the coolest thing about Pax8. I mean, as most of you probably already know, I worked at Microsoft previously, but here at Pax8, I feel like I left Microsoft, like my face is still pushed up on that Microsoft glass. I know, but we have so many other vendors. And I think that's the really cool part that, even for me, that I'm still learning, there's so many things that people can stack on. So I think that's really neat. I know it's me. I've got to focus on the Microsoft stuff at least for a couple minutes, Ryan. Hang with me because Pax8 is back-to-back winners of the MS Partner of the Year Award, specifically in your region. So how did we get here?
Yeah, it's been really awesome to be part of that for the last couple of years. Back-to-back is awesome. We're hoping for the Larry Bird 3 times in a row here coming up. We're crossing our fingers, but we're measured on 3 things specifically, right, from Microsoft, and it's reach, frequency, and yield. So
Sure.
reach is, how far down do you reach, right? It's literally, think of like a networking spider web. It's from Pax8 to a partner to their end user. How far down are we going? Frequency is the amount of transactions happening in our marketplace. How many ads, moves, changes, new orders, cancellations, the frequency of a transaction in our marketplace. And then yield is yield. So we've been doing a really, really awesome job at those 3 categories. And as far as reach and frequency, we definitely, pride ourselves in how far down we go and the amount of customers that we are supporting. And, the hundreds of thousands of transactions every single month in our platform show how high the frequency is for partners in our ecosystem. So we're measured heavily on that from Microsoft. And yeah, so far, so good.
Awesome. Awesome. Willis, I know you're on the back end running our stuff. Can you pull up those one more time for me for all of the awards? Because indirect provider of the year, I think that's awesome. But I mean, customer experience in modern workplace for SMB, that is where we live, Ryan. Like, I think that that is great because when I look at the overall customer experience of our partners, it's so, so important. And we really focus on that SMB segment. So I'm really excited to see what else we can do. I think I can hear Claire in the background. I'm sorry, guys. Look, so I'm just excited overall what we're going to continue to do with Microsoft in that partnership. So Ryan, your sales team absolutely crushing it. I want to make sure we call that out. Now at Microsoft, they have these things called PDMs. They're partner development managers. And I know that kind of translates over to Pax8, right? For an account team feel.
Yeah, more of like a feel, right? So I don't want to say that we are a PDM because those are provided by Microsoft. Whether you are direct or indirect, you're always going to be provided your PDM by Microsoft. But what Pax8 strives to do is provide a PDM-like service for our partners. So, our account team is broken up very specifically where you have your day-to-day account manager. That's my team specifically. That's going to be a channel account manager. So they're almost the quarterback of the team, if you will, right? But then the PDM-like experience, very, very specific to Microsoft, is going to be evolving around our productivity solutions consultants and our infrastructure solutions consultants. Our productivity consultants specifically, they're really, really well versed in Microsoft programs and the Microsoft Partner Center, MCPP, how to spend your co-op dollars, where you can be making more money or taking full advantage of your Microsoft partnership. So, we'll meet a partner where they're at in their journey. It doesn't matter if you need an MPN ID or if you need to go all the way back and find some co-op dollars to spend for an event that you have coming up. Come to Pax8 and use one of our productivity solutions consultants. Let's have a meeting to discuss wherever you are, what you need in that Microsoft ecosystem. So again, it's not that we are a PDM, but we're striving to do a lot of the things that they're doing for partners. And it doesn't matter if you're a single shingle shop or a 200-person MSP. We have people who will help you in those different areas. So that's what we're doing for our partners day to day. And we've seen a lot of success, specifically with co-op. It's a nightmare on how to go get approvals for that, how to use your co-op, how to make sure that you're spending the dollars that you've earned, right? So we used to have a big goal on my team. Let's make sure people have $0 left in their bucket. So there's a lot of push on that coming up, and I think we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit.
Nice, nice. I mean, I think it's so unique that not only do you have your CAM, your channel account manager, your account executive, but you have these specialists that are just ready to dial. And I mean, you really hit on the PSCs. So Ryan, I mean, I think that we've got to get Haley Marshall on here eventually, because I want her to probably do a deep dive into all things modern work with us. I think that would be pretty cool. So we've got Haley Marshall that runs your US team out of anything productivity and dynamics, right? And then we've got Steven Slattery who runs everything that is Azure. These teams are top notch. I mean, Ryan, you tell me. I know I can't even guess how many questions and how often they get pulled into these conversations.
Yeah, I mean, we try to be involved at every level, right? I think that's one thing I love about this job is I still get to interact with partners even at my level. I know Haley and Steven are super involved still with our partner base, but they also have a really well-oiled machine and a team that is incredibly capable of answering the majority of questions without even needing to rope in a leadership. We have multi-certified productivity and infrastructure consultants across the board, very specific, whether it be Microsoft licensing, Dynamics, or infrastructure. And everybody kind of lives in their own wheelhouse. So they try to remain an expert in their field. But yeah, I think Haley and Steven could be an incredible guest here to do a deeper dive into how not only we help with this day to day, but how we demystify Microsoft as a whole for our partners. So I think that's a really important thing that Pax8 does is, there's so much to ingest for Microsoft. I mean, Kristen, your team's like 38 people, right? We have a 38-person Microsoft programs team, right? but that's because we're ingesting so much information globally,
Yes.
and then we disseminate it down. So I think we have a really good way that we approach our partners, and have a really good way we digest the information and bring it back what's important to the partners, because it's hard to pluck out what's important to the average MSP, to the average channel partner.
I could not agree more with you, because the amount of stuff that comes down from Microsoft, like, is it SMB relevant? Does it make sense? Like, what do our partners at Pax8 need? Because these teams specialize in that. And I think that is the coolest part. So I'm going to put them on our list, because I definitely want to have each of them come on in, and I want to have that conversation to really dive into their specializations. But I know we're closing out FY23. So we've got like 20 something days. It's close. We're rolling into FY24. So fiscal year 24 for Microsoft, it starts in July. Now, that always means Microsoft Inspire's coming. So what else do partners need to keep in mind, Ryro, as we close out FY23?
Yeah, I think first of all, keep in mind the recaps that Pax8's going to do for Inspire, right? Your team does an incredible job riding around on scooters and getting updates all across Inspire, right? And posting on LinkedIn, doing recaps every single day. That's one thing that I think is super important. Just mark your calendar, because it's hard to take in the entire day of Inspire, especially virtually now. It's hard to just sit through all those sessions. So you and your team and Pax8 does a really good job of recapping everything. So that's one thing I definitely look forward to this time of year, is the Inspire recaps and how involved Pax8 is with bringing that information down to our partners.
We try to have
big
fun
thing-
while doing it, right? Like we've got to make it a little spicy, a little fun, because otherwise, I mean, that many meetings, it can be a little much, right?
That's right. That's right. Scooter gang. I will always remember. I'll always remember. Another big thing going on right now too is partner program renewals, right? The MCPP program has been introduced, and now people are no longer renewing silver or gold. They're going into the MCPP program. So whether you need help navigating that with your renewal, whether you just want to learn a little bit more about MCPP, the productivity consultants, they're ready to rock and have that conversation and discuss anything with you, so you can be prepared for some of the inevitable announcements that are going to come out for that program. Inspire, we generally see incentives and rebates are teased at Inspire and then released shortly after. So that's super relevant to our partner base. And then the last piece is just there's a lot of co-op dollars, right? There's a lot of money that's left on the table year after year after year after year. Let's go spend that money. Partners have earned the money.
Yep.
It's their money to use back on the Microsoft programs and whatever they need to use it for. Let us help navigate that. Let us help make $0 the number, instead of leaving anything on the table. So those are the three things that I think are really hot. Microsoft, partner facing. How do we wrap up the rest of this half?
Awesome. I know that we did a previous segment with Devin Landtrip, and she went through all that co-op. So guys, if you've got questions about that, go back, make sure that you're looking that one up, because Devin did a deep dive, making sure that you guys know everything that you need to. I mean, as much as we can possibly squish into 30 minutes, but want to make sure we call that one out, because it was a great episode as well. Now, Ryan, I feel like I call you Ryan Ryro. First, I want to call out John Fry says that you have an amazing stash. So I feel like that is relevant, very important, needed to make sure that that one was called out for you.
I'm just bringing the wingman out of retirement for the show. That's all.
I love it. All right. So we talked about Pax8. We talked about how we're an indirect provider. But what really separates Pax8 from that pack?
Yeah, I'll hit on it in a minute. And I think this has evolved, and this is what I love about my job and our job, all of our job, anybody listening to this, right, is we live in the cloud world. Everything we know right now could be obsolete tomorrow. And I think that's the coolest thing about our job, is we're always evolving, we're always changing, we're always self-educating, group educating. There's very few jobs where you get to learn something every single day, because everything's changing every single day. And I feel very privileged to be in this industry and in the seat I'm in today. You know, a couple of years ago, if you had asked me that question, I would say it's our integrations, right? We have industry-leading integrations, ConnectWise, Autotask, and a few others. But right now, those have become table stakes, right? I think if you don't have integrations, you're behind the curve. So, we navigated that really, really well, and we were ahead of the curve for a long, long time. But now integrations are table stakes. So what Pax8 has done is we've evolved and we've taken it to the next level. And where we separate ourselves from everybody else, if I could choose one word, Kristen, it would be enablement. And the enablement that we provide is bar none. There's very, very few people who do what we do, whether it be through our academy, our LMS, the studios team, webinars, whatever it might be. We have a lot of preloaded content. Our academy has over 400 videos ready to rock right now for anybody in our ecosystem.
Yep.
And then we have other options through our academy team. We talk about it like it's a gym membership, right? You can get a gym membership and be self-paced, which is fine.
Yes.
We have that ability for you right now. We have the ability for you to do group sessions, right? If you're into spin classes, we can do that for you. We can do one-to-many one-to-many classroom type events. And then we can also do like a private coach. And we have that ability as well. So you can kind of pick your flavor. Again, we meet you where you're at in your journey. You pick your flavor on what's the best way for you to consume this information, and we will enable partners to go grow. And I strongly believe that's where we separate ourselves from everybody else.
I love it. You could pick your flavor of enablement. I mean, that's what we're doing today. That's what we do through Pax8 Live, through Technically Unraveled, through the game. I mean, partners are able to pick their flavor and what works best for them. So I think that that's the really, really cool part, because we are constantly innovating. We're doing beyond. I think that that's a huge thing, right? There's so much enablement that's going to be happening at Beyond. So I really, really like that that's the one that you honed in on, because that's the one that we are just going to be consistently innovating and coming up with some more cool stuff. So I want to make sure that we dive into what does our normal partner look like? Does a partner have to fit a certain mold to fit in at Pax8, or is it just kind of open the gates and come?
I think that's a crazy hard question to answer, Kristen, because we've sent over 25,000 global invoices last month. So that means we have over 25,000 different profiles in our ecosystem for what our partners look like, right? So that's what I love about Pax8. We don't need to have an average partner. We don't need to have a standard. We don't need to have a floor or a ceiling. I've been saying it a couple times, but we're going to meet you where you're at your journey, right? You can be a brand new MSP. You want to learn how to get an MPN ID. What is the channel? What is Microsoft? Please help, right? I need everything I can do because I'm starting an MSP. Great, we got you. We'll set you up. You could also be, a top 100 MSP from CRN. Perfect. We have several of them. We have a bunch of them in our ecosystem, right? But what we've done for Pax8 is we've segmented out our sales team so we can meet those partners at their journey, right? So we have very like-minded partners with our reps, right? We have different teams, and it's not like my reps are going to go see somebody who's just starting out for one conversation, and then they flip the switch and they have to go talk to a top 100 MSP. No, our reps are talking to the same profile of MSP, of channel partner, all day, every day. So they're very like-minded conversations. We're based regionally, so we know what's happening in the region, what's happening at that level. But we've never said, no, you're too small, or no, you're too big. We said, where are you at in your journey? And let us find the best fit for you in Pax8. And that's what I love, is there is no. It's let us find the right seat on the bus for you. Hop on, right?
I like the right. That's incredible. And I mean, having your team that really just specializes in specific segments, I think that's a game changer, because you hear this that's happening, this partner might be having specific struggles. And as we go in and we even do the business planning with them, saying like, hey, have you thought about this? Let's get ahead of it. I think that's something that can be super impactful for those partners. But you've been here for a long time, and I like to kind of mix in the fun with the Microsoft, with the Pax8. Can you please just tell me, I want to know, you've been with us for a long time. What is one of your favorite memories here? Because I feel like we mix fun and play. We have a great time when we're all in town. Tell me one of your favorite memories.
Kristen, I got a lot of memories here. I was here when we passed our first, 100 employees. I was here when we passed our first 1,000 partners. Now we're celebrating milestones like $1 billion in revenue. So I got a lot of really positive memories along the way. I would have to say, though, one of my favorite ones would have been February of 2018. And there was a double bet that was made in the office. We were still about maybe sub 150 employees at the time. And we had a fantasy football league. And the loser of that fantasy football league, they had to chug a pint of ranch in front of our all hands meeting. So shout
No,
out
they
to my
didn't.
guy, Matt Resch. He took it like a champ, the full pint, one sitting. It's as gross as you think it is, but I think that's a core
I
memory
can't.
that will stick with me forever. Yeah, I think that'll stick with me forever. And then just the cherry on top of that, I mentioned it was a dual bet. Our buddy Harrison Foster had to dress up in a cheerleader outfit and cheer him on while
No,
chugging
we
the pint
didn't.
of ranch. So there's some videos of it. Maybe we can get a segment in here the next time. But that moment will forever live in my memory and Pax8 history.
Oh my God. I'm sure that they would love to have that video resurfaced here. So I might take you up on that one. But a pint, like the whole pint.
Yes, and now Matt lives in the UK now, so a US pint. I want to be not a proper pint, but a US pint. It was only 16 ounces.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's disgusting. Okay. I can see why that would be a core memory. It's in there forever. Good. So I fly out on Sunday to go to Beyond. You're local to Denver. Now, if people want to find you at Beyond and they want to say, hey, they want to give you the high five, the selfie, how do they find you?
By my haircut would probably be the easiest way. Okay, so I'll be rocking this stash. I'll be rocking this haircut. I'll be ready to rock. But I'm going to be all over Beyond. Kristen, I can't wait. I remember when we had to postpone this a few years ago. That was not maybe one of my favorite memories in Pax8, but it was a motivational memory at Pax8. And here we are 3 years later. I am so stoked. I'm so jazzed. We are sold out. I can't wait to be at Beyond. So if you see me, stop me. Let's share a drink. Let's create a memory. I can't wait to be there on Sunday.
That is awesome. I mean, if you're looking for the shiny head, it's either between you or Bach. They'll find one of you. I think either one, people will be pleasantly surprised. So excellent. I
The
really look
bald
forward to
eagles will
that.
be swarming Beyond. Yeah.
The bald eagles will be swarming. I love it. Yes. Okay. So when we look at Pax8 as a whole, obviously I'm over Microsoft. You've got your entire team. But how does Pax8 measure success? Like, what does that look like for us?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in sales, right? So it's easy for me to say it's quota, right? We carry a quota that we're very, very numbers driven. But another thing that we've implemented since going global is OKRs, objectives and key results. And what I really, really like about objectives and key results is we keep them really, really transparent, right? Across the entire org, across the entire globe. So at any point, I can go click into any of my colleagues' workboard right now and see what their most strategic projects are for the quarter. And we track them all the time. They're very visible to everybody. We on our executive meetings, we're always highlighting them. And that's how we measure success. Are we going after our most strategic OKRs? Are we knocking them out? And where do we need help on completing them, which I think is another great initiative from Pax8 is lean on the people around you to help you get those OKRs knocked out. So yeah, quota is the easy answer, but we've initiated OKRs, and the more we hit across the globe, the more successful we are at knocking out our strategic initiatives. And I think that's always been that's been a really good addition to see across the board.
It has. And I mean, being able to click in to see exactly what's important to each person. Guys, we love OKRs so much. I think that there's a jingle coming.
Yeah! Setting goals. Okay. Oh, measuring your goals. Okay. He's the freaking okay.
Oh my gosh. We might have to have Cole on now too to talk about some OKRs. So, we've got updates. We wanted to go back to some updates. Sorry about that. I know we're getting close here on time, but I want to make sure, just as there's so much information that comes up, Ryan, how do you stay on top of it? How's your team stay on top of all of the information that's consistently coming out? Because I think that's important for our partners.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to stay on top of everything that we have going on. Obviously our sales team, we're trying to stay certified, up to date, things like that. We have a lot of transparency and visibility within our sales team, a lot of weekly meetings, manager-led meetings, regional meetings, all of that, where we deliver information down. But there's also areas like the LMS where people can be taking advantage of things. There's our new inbox feature in the platform where imperative information is going to be coming to, MSPs and our channel partners directly. We have newsletters that come out. We have executive dashboards. So we do have a lot of information right there in your face, accessible to everybody. So I just encourage you, be in our platform, be in our marketplace, because if you're in there day to day, that's where a lot of the information is living. And it's going to be, directly correlated to that user inside of the marketplace. It's not like if you're a SentinelOne partner, I'm going to go send you information on a different vendor, right? I'm going to put information towards SentinelOne for you. Same with Microsoft, whatever.
Couldn't have said
be.
Microsoft.
So, I couldn't have said Microsoft. I know. I'm an equal opportunity VP of sales. Okay.
I can't even be mad about it, but we've covered a lot today. But if you've got to leave one big takeaway for everybody that's out here, what would it be?
Save time, make money, reduce risk. Those are the three things that we are working towards all the time with our partners. So we found that most partners, honestly, most small businesses and businesses in general, they're working towards those three things right now. So we have set up shop and we are focused on those three main value drivers: save time, make money, reduce risk. Let us help you pick which one is the focus of your next quarter, your next project, and we'll take you down a journey within Pax8 for one of those main value drivers. So that's what I would leave with, Kristen.
Awesome. Ryan, I'm going to see you at Beyond. I think there's people in the chat saying they're going to bring ranch and cameras. So I look forward to seeing what's going to happen there. But thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thanks for having me, Kristen. It was great. See you Sunday.
Awesome. Yes, sir. All right. We're definitely going to have Ryan back again because time flew by. I want to make sure that we always have up-to-date content for you. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Super important. Want to make sure you're always up to date. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you stay tuned and we'll see you all at Beyond. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.